Delete your files and leave. So I have a friend Ted who 6 to 7 years ago was 64 and considering retirement. Ted worked in health analytics for a large metro health organization. He would look at patient data and see ways to improve patient outcomes and gain funding. Each month he would email to the relevant department heads data and links for government grants or funding applications. 12 months prior to this, Ted got a new boss, Sally, who didn't appreciate what Ted did. Sally pretty much ignored Ted except for a simple instruction that all data and reports go to her and no one else. She would deal with it. The organization declares a restructure with lots of jobs losses. They are extremely determined to get this through. Ted is to be redundant. In a meeting, Sally tells Ted his work is useless and he is of no use to the organization. She says she hasn't opened one of his email reports in 12 months and that clearly shows he doesn't matter to the organization. In 3 months he will be redundant and receive a handsome package, over a year's pay. Sally was pretty rude to Ted and HR asked her to leave. It is decided that Sally will longer deal with Ted. The union was putting a decent fight and slowing down the restructure. Ted makes the offer to HR that he will not fight the redundancy if they pay him 3 months sick leave and after that his redundancy. They agree but insist that he does a full data clean for patient confidentiality reasons in the next 2 days and then his sick leave starts. Cue malicious compliance. Ted backs up a copy then rings IT who delete every file, all on his hard drive and not on a server. He was not so tech savvy, and physically destroy his hard drive. He also asks them also to search through any unopened emails he had sent and delete them off the server. IT wipe every last trace of Ted from the system. Ted gave the copy of his data to the internal auditors on his last day. On Ted's last day he also discovered that Sally didn't know he was going on sick leave the next day. She rings with a sweet as pie voice saying, "Hey Ted, I need to look at those numbers you sent me as I can't find them." The auditors say we are 2.2 million short of funding this year and you might be able to help out. Ted replies, "Sure, but ring me tomorrow." Ted leaves and retires happily ever after. Sally apparently could not find Ted's data in the coming weeks. Ted ignored her calls as he was on sick leave. The internal auditors investigated and found that Sally had cost the organization over $2.5 million in funding. At the same time, complaints came from department heads about Ted's redundancy. Someone forwarded Ted an email a couple months later from the CEO stating, after a brief conversation with Sally, she has decided to look for other opportunities.